All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome in. I want to give everyone an update on what is going on with our severe weather today. And as I've been talking about really for the last couple of days, but especially this morning, that we did have a chance for some severe weather. And unfortunately, we're seeing some of that, but we're not seeing a ton of it. So that's good. But I wanted to start out with this radar depiction because it actually gives a good indication of what is going on at the moment. So you can see one, two, three, four, maybe five supercell thunderstorms in this radar image. And that is what we were expecting. As you can tell, they're widely scattered, widely spaced. And that's very common for, well, let's do that. Very common for, sorry about that, very common for supercells. Either you're right under it or you're not. So let's zoom in on the that are most concerning for the Metroplex at the moment. So this is the supercell that's over Trophy Club or just north of there along 35W. And we'll zoom in a little bit more here. And, nothing crazy, but this is definitely a story we want to watch and starting to see, maybe a little appendage, as we say right there. Matter of fact, we can look at the velocity and yeah, so there's the good news is there's no strong rotation by any means, really no rotation at all in that. Some wind there, that's for sure. Definitely got to watch it to make sure that doesn't change, but so far so good. Looks impressive on reflectivity, but thankfully it's not something that is going to it's not going crazy at the moment, that's for sure. So this is the cell that would most likely, if it, kind of keeps its form, it would affect a good chunk of at least a northern half, or at least half of the metroplex. So we're going to put this in motion, and you can kind of see it's going. This one on the south end here, is wanting to make a little bit of a right turn, and we called it a deviant motion. And sometimes what happens when those cells split, which is what you saw, is that left split headed this way, and this wants to kind of go this way. Well, that's a terrible arrow. So it is, and the atmosphere is conducive for splitting supercells today. We have these straight photographs, as we call it, and when you have it not totally straight, that's why it's not an over. I'm not overly concerned about a tornado threat. It's not zero. We've already seen a couple of tornado warnings, one in Texas and one in Oklahoma. So it's not out of the question. I think the bigger tornado threat would be in Oklahoma, but again, you can't discount it totally here, of course. So this supercell here, again, we'll put this in motion. If it, you can see this, there's a split there, and then this one wants to make a little bit of a right turn, although not a big one. It's moving, as you can see from the warning box, it is maybe just moving a little south of due east. So, what does that mean for people in the path currently? So, obviously, if you're in southern Denton County, that's where the warning is. The northeastern part of Tarrant County, Louisville, Carrollton, Coppell, DFW Airport. It is something that you definitely want to keep an eye on. If we look at the hydrometer layer, thankfully, now remember, red or certainly yellow is bad. Not a ton, thankfully. Now, again, this is the radar looking up about 6,000 feet into the cloud. So that's actually a good sign. We don't see a lot of big hail in this. I was looking at storm reports. Definitely got some half dollar size hail, which is inch and a quarter. That was in 3 miles north of Marshall Creek in Denton County, about 8 minutes ago. So that's nothing terrible. Let's see. Just looking, half-inch hail reported Texas Motor Speedway. All right, so that's not too far from you, Angela. Anyway, so thankfully, right now the hail sizes are not too bad. Now, as you can see, definitely a rain producer, that's for sure. Um, let's see. Let's put this in motion again, and then we'll kind of put a track on it and see what we might can expect as the time goes on. We'll do this. Let's just cycle through one more time. So, like I said, it wants to basically go east. Will kind of expand this out a little bit. So I know it gets a little cluttered here, so I'll kind of draw this in. So this is basically Interstate 30 right here, and I need to go back to my other radar. Apparently, 75. Let's see, 35E right there. So right now you would say it'd be kind of going in that kind of path. I wouldn't be shocked if it wants to do a little bit more of this. The hail core is right here, just north of Marshall Creek, which is where we saw the hail report. All right. So, as a matter of fact, let's do this. I'm going to put the other radar up there. Hey, Brandy. Camping at Lake Tawakoni. What's it like for us? Good question. Um, I will get. I'll let you know there. Okay, this radar is probably a little bit better. Let me close the other one. All right, let's do this. All right, so let's Brandy, we'll get you taken care of here real quick. Lake Tawakoni. We'll zoom in here. There we go. All right, so if you can see it, Brandy, you're right there. All right, so I gotta take that off to put this in motion. So you're right here. I had a little storm come over you. So right now, I this particular storm right here, just keep an eye on it. It wants to kind of go this way, but that's the storm you want to watch out for if you're at Tawakoni. Nothing crazy bad, but just something you definitely want to keep an eye on. I would say you're probably talking next 30 minutes, 45 minutes, something like that. Hope that helps. And after this is over, then chances are for most of the weekend, you will not have any issues. Chances are. All right. So here's back to our supercell in the Metroplex. And we'll put this in motion. Like I said, this gives a little bit better representation of what we can expect. Again, you can see those splitting supercells. And I would say good news is so far is that it's not going crazy, but definitely got a hell core. Looks like, yeah. If you're watching Angela, let me know what it's doing at your place. The hell core is pretty close to where you are. Let's put this on hydrometer. Okay, well, that doesn't look too bad. Although that's why we like ground truth, as we say. Okay, checking the chat. Oh, you're welcome, Brandy. Don't see any other questions in the chat. Lori, if you're watching, tell Oliver the thunder's going to be a little while longer if you're watching. If not, I'll text you back. Excuse me. Okay, so let's check some spotter reports over here. Don't see. Okay, it's at nothing more than an inch, so that's good. Let's see. So the Weather Service is continuing this severe thunderstorm warning. Again, it's in effect until 7:45. Yeah, quarter size hail. That's radar indicated. So don't have any ground truth on that yet, and hopefully we won't because that's just radar indicated. But it's definitely a rain producer, as you can see. So we have a lot of moisture in the air. Hello, Steve. Greetings from Hawaii. Are you serious? Oh, how's the weather where you are? Oh goodness. Well, if I'm sure you really are. So if you are in Hawaii, then awesome. I think let's see, and I think it's what a 4 or 5 hour difference. So it's going to be what 1 o'clock ish in the afternoon over there. Come on back. You're missing all the fun. Okay, so let me show you what the severe thunderstorm watch looks like. So this goes until 10 o'clock. And as you can see, it's fairly extensive. It goes all the way up to the border of Oklahoma, through the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex down into just north of Austin. So it's a pretty wide spread of what we think is going to have the chance for severe weather. Now, like I've always said, and I said this morning, is that these are those situations to where not everybody is going to see the bad weather, and that's a good thing. Now, if you're wanting some rain and you don't see anything, well, that might not be a good thing. But like I said, it's we're not seeing these so far. Atmosphere is very volatile and unstable, so we still could see things ramp up. So it's definitely not time to let your guard down or anything. But it is something we just got to watch. Like I said, the severe thunderstorm watch goes until 10 o'clock, and so let's kind of zoom out on this a little bit and kind of give you an idea. Because this storm, if you're down at Cedar Creek Lake, if anybody's watching from there, you know anybody in Cedar Creek Lake, it is a holiday, so I wouldn't be shocked. Nasty storm coming your way, so just FYI. But we'll put this in motion, and let's see. It's got a message here. Oh, Jason Cooley. Okay, he's moving east now. Oh, yeah, great. Thanks. Don't send him my way. That was Angela. So okay, again, you can kind of see the motion here. Um, for the most part, east, maybe just due south of east in some cases. But again, as you can see, as I talked about in the very beginning, as again with nature, these type setups is that you have these supercells that are widely spaced apart, which like I said, is a good thing because they do tend to be prolific hail producers. And the storm that was north of Granbury that you see. Let me stop this, and we'll get this. You see this storm here. Definitely now, if you go back, you definitely see this be a right mover um, of the mean there. You can see a little, hook type appendage there. That's a storm that's probably, if you're down in the Granbury area or is heading toward eventually maybe north of Lake Whitney, if you're knowing by down there. Not too bad right now, quarter size hail. So that's the one thing that I've actually been a little, thankfully, been a little surprised about is that thought we would see more big hail reports, and thankfully we haven't. So that's good. I'm not complaining, I promise. But I think, ironically, the cap is still in play. It's obviously it's broken in some cases, as you can see, but I think the cap is kind of keeping things semi under control. Again, that's a good thing. We just got a quick little shower here. Downpour that basically lasted like 2 minutes. It poured really hard, a couple lightning strikes, but we got all of 1/100th of an inch. That's why I mowed my yard earlier, just in case. All right, so let's zoom back in here. So, and again, you can see this development down in the southern part of Dallas County, and at least I don't think that was an initial storm. Okay, it was an offshoot of this one over here. Okay, so all right, so let's zoom in a little bit more. So this supercell, thankfully, doesn't look near as impressive, which again is a good thing, as it did a few minutes ago. So that is good news. All right, so if you zoom out on the bigger picture, again, you can see this development goes up into Oklahoma, and I think let me see if I can get that satellite picture over there. Yep, let's try this. There we go. Yeah, so you can see this development along the dry line. And we'll kind of update this one. You can definitely see where the dry line is. And then one thing you'll notice, which again is a good thing, is that these storms are forming, and they're kind of losing their punch a little bit. We've had situations to where you see these storms form and they just kind of blow up like a bomb on the satellite picture, and you're not really seeing that with this. Now, again, you have some storms that are they're overproducing, I guess you could say, compared to all the other ones. So, but we're not seeing um, that sustained updraft, which is good. That's a good thing. We don't want that. We don't want these giant hail producers. And I think the cap, it's not the only reason, but it's. I think the cap is, helping keep these things at bay, which is good. That's why I just wanted to pop on real quick and kind of give everybody an update. It's a holiday weekend. I know a lot of people are traveling, so it's something that definitely be aware of. Like Brandy being at Lake Tawakoni. If you're other places, Hawaii, I can't. I think you're fine there, Steve. But although if you're not, let me know. um, but it's yeah, it's so far so good. Just checking the storm spotters reports, and yeah, I haven't seen anything crazy. That's for sure. All right, so let's check the chat. We're good there. All right, all right. So let's go back to the radar here. All right, so as you can see, we have several severe thunderstorm warnings region wide, and I guess North Texas wise. Let me sum this up. Is you have three. One is for the storm near Granbury, quarter size hail, 60-mile-an-hour wind gust. That's the minimum criteria for severe weather. And then we have a little bit bigger, half dollar size, 60-mile-an-hour wind for Cedar Creek Lake. I keep hitting the wrong button. And then, of course, the one that's in the Metroplex proper is, again, minimum criteria for severe weather, quarter size hail, 60-mile-an-hour wind gust. But I don't even see a hail core on here anymore. And we could double check that. Yeah, awesome. That is good. All right. So let's check these storms down south real quick. See which way they're going to be moving. Yeah, they're still moving northeast. Yeah, those will be interesting. All right. So again, let me these right here going this way, which doesn't thrill me, but so far they're behaving. Let's see. So I have to keep an eye on that, especially in the eastern half of Dallas County, which is where where I'm at anyway. Not everybody's there, of course. All right, so we'll put this in motion one more time, and then I think for now I will sign off. Yeah, it's definitely definitely holding together. Let's put some different layers on it. Velocity, which is nothing, which is not surprising. The hydrometer on there. Yeah. Got again, don't know if it's even reaching the ground, but definitely got some potential anyway for hail. That's again us looking up into the cloud. All right. All right. So I don't see other questions in the chat. If you got a question, pop on real quick. I will sign off. However, I'll definitely be watching these storms here and trying to see if there's any. Nobody has reported anything. That one. Okay. All right, nothing on that. All right, cool. Okay, well, I'll be watching these storms to the south. If I hop back on, then unfortunately, that probably means it's been warned for something. Most likely would be a tornado, but it'd be hail. And definitely come back on and keep you updated on that. But in the meantime, I will watch it from here. And if we need to talk about that storm, I'll hop back. All right. Well, as always, I'm watching the weather, so you don't have to. Hope everyone has a great Friday, great weekend. If I don't hop back on, if I do hop back on, then we'll talk about the weather in between now and the rest of the weekend. And with that, we will talk to you soon.